Judge Martinez's gavel came down on the case file labeled SpaceX Lawsuit 2008 FL1 versus Elon Musk. Reporters in the back rows of the courtroom immediately scrambled for their phones. Former SpaceX attorney Ethan Cole slammed a printed email bearing Elon's signature onto the prosecutor's table. Mr. Musk wrote, "The cost of failure is negligible before Falcon 1's third launch. Here's the proof." Engineer Dr. Nora Veldkamp opened her laptop with trembling fingers. This data was sent to Elon 48 hours before launch. The screen displayed a warning highlighted in red. Fuel valve failure risk. 91.7% don't launch. SpaceX's lawyer, Robert Blunt, burst into laughter. These so-called pieces of evidence. Just then, the courtroom doors flew open. Elon Musk strode in, wearing a black t-shirt that read "Onward to Mars." His eyes locked onto Nora's laptop screen. "I remember this email." Silence. "Because you were right, Nora." Elon's voice wavered for the first time. "But without what we learned that day, we wouldn't be launching astronauts on Falcon 9 now." Ethan shot up in fury. "You gambled with 86 people's careers." Elon pulled a USB drive from his pocket. "Here's the list of those we sacrificed. I set up a private fund for each of them." As he placed the USB on the table, the courtroom lights illuminated its contents, a document titled Falcon 1 Crash Compensation Protocol, detailing each employee's name, lost position, and the restitution SpaceX provided. Judge Martinez frowned as she reviewed the file. "Mr. Musk, this isn't the official compensation report requested by the court. You're referring to a private fund created at your own discretion." Elon leaned forward, hands on the table. "We didn't have time for bureaucratic delays. Every laid-off worker received double severance and a referral letter. 73 of those 86 now work at Blue Origin or NASA." Nora took the USB and plugged it into her laptop. The screen lit up with signed thank you emails from former team members. Ethan stared in disbelief. "Then why didn't you submit this to the court?" Elon's gaze shifted to Nora. "Because a real apology isn't just money. It's admitting the truth. That's why I'm here today." Nora's fingers froze over the keyboard. A hidden folder on the USB caught her eye, labeled Personal Notes, EM. She clicked it open, revealing digital scans of Elon's handwritten scribbles. 6 hours before Falcon 1 launch, Nora's warning is correct. "But we have to take the risk this time. If we scrub, investors bolt. Team morale collapses. I know. This is a moral gamble." Ethan shot to his feet. "Your Honor, please take note. Mr. Musk is admitting he knowingly violated safety protocols." Judge Martinez removed her glasses, studying the notes. "Mr. Musk, how do you explain these?" Elon's expression shifted. "The man who wrote that isn't the same man standing here now." He stepped toward the center of the room. "Yes, I was wrong. But without that failure, we wouldn't be working with NASA today. As for the losses..." Nora cut him off, voice cracking. "Losses? I was unemployed for 2 years, Elon. I lived on antidepressants." Just then, the courtroom doors swung open again. Gwynne Shotwell walked in, extending a file to the judge. SpaceX's official compensation proposal for all former employees, including Nora Veldkamp. Notable details in the file: a technical advisory offer for Nora on the Starship project, a position for Ethan Cole on SpaceX's legal team, priority tickets for space tourism for all affected employees. Judge Martinez raised her gavel one final time. SpaceX will process all compensation within 30 days. Additionally, Mr. Musk, you will hold an annual press conference on this date to commemorate the Falcon 1 failure. Elon bowed his head, accepted, but on one condition. "Nora, will you rejoin the team?" Nora hurled the USB toward him. "First, make that moral gamble journal public. Then we'll talk." As the USB clattered off the table and onto the floor, the courtroom plunged into silence. Elon stared at the glinting metal for a long moment. "You're right, Nora," he murmured. "I'll release those notes today on SpaceX's website and all social media." Ethan cut in, baffled. "Is this a PR stunt, Musk? To win public sympathy, Elon's eyes flashed. No coal. This is reckoning with myself. He pulled out his phone and fired off a tweet. Today, I'm sharing the full, unvarnished truth about Falcon 1's 2008 failure. Our mistakes, admissions, and the lessons we must never forget. Nora's eyes welled up. Why now? She whispered. Because we're preparing Starship's first crewed flight, he replied. And this time, everything will be transparent, down to every system, every data point. With your approval, Nora? Gwyn touched Elon's arm. The press is waiting. We need to address them. Elon held Nora's gaze a final time. I want you leading the team. But first, I'll give you time to decide if you can accept my apology. As they exited the courtroom, Ethan turned to Nora. Do you actually believe this? This remorse after all these years? Nora gazed out the window at the sky. Look, Ethan, she said, there was something else on that USB, a salvaged fragment from the Falcon 1 wreckage. It had NV, remember, etched on it. So even back then, Ethan blinked. What are you going to do? Nora grabbed her jacket and headed for the door. First, I'll comment under that tweet. Then we'll see what kind of starship they've got waiting in that hangar. She paused on the courthouse's granite steps, fingers brushing the NASA Certified Flight Director badge in her pocket. On her phone, Elon's tweet had already hit 15.7 million likes. One engineer's comment stood out. A CEO who owns his mistakes leads a team that never stops learning. Her eyes drifted toward the distant SpaceX hangar. Ethan joined her, rereading his SpaceX job offer letter for the last time. This was everything I dreamed of in law school, Nora. But now, Nora met his gaze. But now you've seen the cost of the truth. You folded the letter away. Maybe that's exactly why I should go. Be the ethics shield inside. A test fire roar erupted from the hangar. Nora's lips curled into a smile. We engineers all speak the same language, Ethan, numbers. But today I learned regrets matter as much as equations. Ethan eyed her NASA badge. So, heading to the hangar? She tucked the badge back, grinning. First, coffee. Then maybe I'll reply to Elon's tweet with NASA Flight Director approved. As the two old friends walked into Los Angeles' amber dusk, a courtroom door closed behind them, while the first pages of a new space age fluttered open. If you liked it, stay tuned for more stories, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. I'd love to know where you're watching from. Drop your location in the comments. For more stories, click on the video on your screen right now.